and give them these opportunities is where I think the future is. Again, this goes back to, I know, self-promoting, but that's again one of the reasons I was so motivated to make the metabolic radar, is how do we create a tool where coaches can provide excellence? Something like, I want people to show me like, I need that. I want that. Okay, well, if you need that and you want that, I can give it to you, and it costs money, because we live in a financial world and it can't be for free, right? How do we make this business side of caring for people? Because doctors make a ton of money. Maybe coaches should make a ton of money, because what we're driving, my passion, and what Greg has given us and CrossFit has given me, and what MetFix is poised to do, is give me a health, right? A fitness and a lifestyle that I want for myself, right? I want to have metabolic health. I want to have fitness. And it's a health that I want for myself, for my family, for my friends, and my community. And so, with that being the base of like, how can I help people have this? I hope that somehow now this metabolic radar is a tool for coaches to develop a better service to help people, and at the same time be able to charge for that better service.
Yeah, you said everything. Like, if I can give you an answer before Gabriel, is like the answer to your question is how can coach make a ton of money? Is like, don't be just a coach. Be a coach of course, like, know everything about the movement, the biomechanics, like, remember the girl I came with in the gym, uh, the wife, she has like certain good points and bad points, and I saw in your regards that you know everything just by you what I watch you, I watch you because like I were I was in the workout, but it was like all about pull-ups and
Oh, yes,
few
that's right.
parts. You told me, yeah, you see me, yeah, like 6'5" and 200 pounds. Yeah, so you see me. I was watching you and you seen on the skill part between, and I was there, no, that's not you. Would say me, are you sure? You should come here and do the pull-ups and make all the things. And of course, be a good coach, be in the biomechanics, be perfect in the movement, of course. But that's like thousands of other coaches. What's the difference you can make? And so when you are talking about marketing, and we are, that's the Gabriel and our part, is like,
Yeah.
um, if you want to make some good money, don't just be a coach. So don't sell a service, sell a transformation. And of course, be conscious about the transformation you're selling. And the transformation is not about only physiques, it's about mental health. Okay, how can you manage mental health? Okay, you have people in the community, you can exchange with guys, but be accountable with them. Okay, so that's another part. It's like being a health mental preparation. Okay, that's another job, that's another skill. And then after, of course, um, as you said in the level one, is like, you just need to eat what you need for as a fuel, nothing more. Okay, but in a sugar world, with all the temptation that we have, is like, okay, how can I be skilled by other type of things, which is nutrition? Okay, so how can you be a better coach with nutrition? And so that's the triptych. That's in triptyque vertueux in French. It's like coach movement, physique, mental, social parts with mental, and then after nutrition. And so when you have that and you know how to market yourself through, okay, I'm a transformational coach, by having all the holistic aspects. And we talk about three things, but we can talk about habits, like all the fascias that we can have, all the routines that you can have, stress management, family health, uh, all the habits that you can have. And then after you can make $250 a hour.
Yeah.
Because like Greg at that time was quite asking for that price. Yes, he is, but he was skilled on all different aspects. Moreover, he's a genius. Moreover,
Yeah.
he can sell himself. So that's why
Well,
that's
yeah, I
quite,
think
quite
what's interesting about that model that I was just describing, his lease rents, was that he was making his fair money on us. Right? Remember the gym? It's here. It's this much money. And we're like, yes, I want that. I will pay for that because the gym is worth that to me. Then what he did for his own finances, this is my perspective, is he gave all of us trainers that opportunity to make our money. So like I said, I'm paying him $150 a month for the gym, and then I'm paying another $200 for the fact that I could train people. So now I used to pay him 150, now I'm paying him 350 a month. Imagine that by a dozen trainers. Well, he just made me pay twice as much money for what I was already getting because he gave me the chance to make money. And so now he made a ton of money because he gave me an opportunity. And I think that's where especially when I talked to you, Thomas, when you came to visit and you were talking about business development, marketing, I was like, me and you need to become friends because that's where I fall short. I'm a pretty good coach. And I think having partners in that business end of it's really important. And I think that's maybe the distinction a little bit is like, or maybe that's a little bit of the evolution of where CrossFit is right now, or MetFix, or the health and fitness space is, man, business owner, coach, are they the same? And I'm starting to think, maybe for some, but more likely than not, that there's going to be a business owner, a team, management, social media, blah, blah, blah. And then there's going to be the professional coach. And I think the professional coach is not going to be the social media marketer. They're not going to be the tech whiz who can understand profit and loss and spreadsheet analysis and client retention and what's your, arm of, average retention per member, all of that stuff. I don't think will be the professional coach. That will be the business side of the professional coaching aspect. And I think we're in that growth stage. It's like a crab trying, or a thing getting out of its shell. It's like we're just constrained by that idea that you have to be a business owner and a coach at the same time. And I think that that's where some of us over the years have been like, yeah, I think we got to rub here. We got to do that. We got to uncouple that. And so currently right now, that's why one of the reasons when we met, I was like, dude, let's become friends. I need help. I want someone to take over that aspect. And then maybe on your side would be like, hey, I don't want to coach everything, but I want you to be coaching my people. Ah, great. Right. Or I come in and I help coach your coaches to become, and then, I think that's where maybe some of this business and coaching need to become very close together and become good friends, and not one thing. If that's just my perspective.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's 100% right. And to jump on that real quick, basically a doctor in some regard, depending on the conditions, of course, but a coach is most often going to be in the front lines of most of the health problem of the people. And for me, I rather want to treat the cause rather than the symptoms. Especially like we live in France. So like France is not something that is as present in the US, from what I hear, way more. To just like okay, the little thing that really doesn't matter really much, take this medicine, take this, and it costs you a lot of money. And like for me, it's more so a question of like education of the people to say, hey, like instead of that, solve the real problem, move better, eat better, solve like the cause, the root of all of this. And in that regard, you can definitely get a coach or gym owner, whichever, like I would say formula end up taking, to charge more. Because technically the value that you provide is, and I would say oftentimes is, way higher than the doctor in some regard. Because of the sense that you actually fix the problem for good, you feel better, you don't have to have all the side effects and all of that. And to come back to your, like I would say, the second point you mentioned about like the separation between coach and business owner, that's definitely an interesting point, because over time what I see is you have, yeah, like everyone starts, usually I would say like 95% of the clients we have, business owners, CrossFit, but also like I would say gym people, tend to start as passionate coaches. That's what they do. And then there are two different types of people. Either they go and they want to stay the coach route, or they want to be the business owner type. And they tend to go in either one direction. Now, being any of them is fine. It really depends on what your role is. And I think you have to be, in my opinion, aware of, okay, the limit, basically the upsides and the downsides of both decisions. Like, if you want to just have a chill life, coach people and have a huge impact, perhaps not like a international level of impact or like a huge impact, but like a deep impact, well, you can just be a good coach in a good gym and you will have all the impact you want. Now, if you want more, you can say, okay, well, if I want to have more impact, I can become the business owner. When you're on the business owner, you're not on the ground too much. You lose the depth of the impact that you're going to make. So that's kind of like the sacrifice. So you got to be able to know, okay, this is what I'm signing up for. Now, if you want to perhaps have both of them, like kind of have your cake and eat it too, what you can see is, okay, perhaps, as you mentioned, I'm the good coach, but I want to get maybe now, not saying that this is always the route to go for, because it can definitely go bad, having a partner, business partner, that provides a certain different skill sets, or growing the business, maybe being a business owner to an extent so that you can hire this part of the business, or maybe bring on someone that's competent enough to do that part. Yeah. So you have to kind of like see, okay, based on who you are, and there is no bad answers in my opinion, because you have like, for example, the founder of Shopify, he's not the CEO, he's the head of product, for example, because he's more passionate about, well, the products than just the marketing of that. So I think most people have to just get out of the boxes of everything. Of course, you got to get to a certain point to be able to have that luxury. But if you really want to have it, just be clear about, okay, what do I want to do and what do I not want to do? And take a look at the different doors and be able to see, okay, what are the upsides and the downsides of each and every one of them. And I think you're 100% right based on what you mentioned. But to get back on something that you mentioned, which is super interesting, is like for you, so okay, you see the future of like a coach being able to pay themselves more. And I think, in my opinion, it's definitely possible. It's a question of like good service, good business, good marketing. You combine all of that, you get something like that. But like, you will be closer to us to, I would say, the good coaching and the good stuff about the service delivery, quote unquote. Like, what do you see specifically about that makes the product or the service or both of them go to that level per se? Because that's something I know some gym owners with us struggle to, like, oh, do I just do like a nutrition course and I just get that good nutrition? Again, I think you have a lot more understanding about the depth that this can go, and I think the audience could be quite curious about knowing what you think is like, how deep can you go with that?
I'm not sure I 100% get the question. You're saying, so ask me that one more time.
No problem. So like, I see that you have a good understanding about how deep you can go into certain stuff. You know what I mean? Yep. And so based off of that, regarding getting a coach to earn more, yes, what do you think on the product and service side is required for them to get up there?
They need, I think, and I think that what it is it turns into one of those things where it's like, oh, you're right. Maybe let me backtrack. I'll use an analogy. A buddy of mine who I got into CrossFit, he worked for a tech company as a financial analyst. So he's just a numbers guy, right? Just spreadsheets and numbers and profit analysis and projections. When I first started coaching, I tried to get him to do it. I was like, hey, dude, I think you'd like it. You should come to the gym and work with me. And he's like, how much is it? I'm like, well, right now it's he makes more money than I do, right? He's worked for a big tech company. And I'm like, for you, it's nothing. What are you talking about? And he didn't see the value in it, right? I did with him was I was like, hey, why don't you come for a month? I won't even charge you. Just come to my classes. You're my friend. Just come check it out. I think you'll dig it. He came for a month. And then at the end of the month, I was like, cool. So that's your free month. If you want to, now you got to start paying. And he was like, it was kind of like he was like, oh, damn it. And he started paying because he then saw the value, right? Once he saw the value, the money didn't stop him. And so I think there's this perception of what am I getting for this money? And I think the problem right now for the perception of the generic gym space is I get an hour-long transaction for $20. Or